Hello, everyone. Moving into the second week of the course, third reading is in the book of Exodus in the Old Testament. Exodus is a Greek word, translation of the original Hebrew. I do not know the original Hebrew. Exodus means the road out, and the road out is the road to liberation. Genesis is a wonderful book to read as a whole, and Genesis leads into Exodus because at the end of Genesis is the story of Joseph and his brothers. Um, and that story ends up with Joseph bringing his family into Egypt, down from Palestine, Israel, whatever, Canaan, that land north of Egypt, down into Egypt to escape the drought. That is a famine. And that leads into Exodus because the Israelites, the descendants of Abraham, basically, they stay there for generations and generations. And they become an enslaved people within Egypt, the Hebrews. And the book of Exodus, at least the beginning of it, most of it, I think, is really a story of their liberation. A very, very key and important story in the the tales of the Old Testament and the origins of the Hebrew people, the origins of the Israelites. It's all incredibly influential, famous, and foundational, you might say. That's why we're reading it, and it's just a great story too. And it has some inherent drama, right? At the very beginning of Exodus, in chapter 1, the Israelites are enslaved in Egypt and they are oppressed. And God, Jehovah, their God, remembers them. And he hears their groans and decides he's going to do something for them. And that's when the story of Moses really emerges. Moses as the leader, the reluctant leader appointed by God to lead the Israelites and deliver them out of bondage in Egypt. And these chapters from Exodus are about that liberation, the really dramatic circumstances under which that happens. Where Moses, who is the leader of the Hebrews, repeatedly goes to the Pharaoh, king of Egypt, basically, and says, "You have to let my people go." Where God is said, "You've got to deliver us. You have to let us go." And it's a very complicated thing, right? The Pharaoh's response, which is, reluctant to say the least, but repeatedly, the text says, well, first, yet Pharaoh hardened his heart and would not listen to them, just as the Lord said. But there are other parts where it's clear that the Lord, God, um, that He Himself purposely hardened Pharaoh's heart. That is, made Pharaoh refuse. Where there seems to be points at which the Pharaoh, after these plagues, which are one after the other, these horrible things, a plague of frogs, a plague of gnats, all the water turning to blood. Um, I think there's locusts and a lot of other things too. Uh, that he seems at certain points willing to let the Israelites go, but then his heart is hardened, and one wonders why. I know I'm not even going to suggest why, but that might be one of the study questions: is why did the Lord harden Pharaoh's heart, make him reluctant, make him more obstinate to let the Israelites go? So there's this incredible drama and these plagues, which are so terrible and really cinematic. I mean, sort of very striking things that happen: darkness, and then finally the death of the firstborn, the Passover, which is so important in Jewish custom and history. So it's just this incredible section of the Bible, this incredible story, and really the most dramatic story in the history of, I think, of the Old Testament.